I want to welcome everybody to the program. And Rebecca is going from Good Egg Concept is going to be talking about how to create your holiday marketing strategy.
Our goal tonight is to talk about holidays and small business marketing. And thank you for having me. I always like coming to the Arlington Heights Memorial Library and working with Diane and the team. And we've come pretty far, all things considered. So thanks for your patience. I would be interested to know if people in the audience want to type into the chat what sort of business that you're in. We can try to aim some of our comments tonight toward that if you want to type into the chat. And then Diane, if you see people typing into the chat, just call it out and then we'll get started.
Will do,
so,
for sure.
The holidays are upon us, and really now is the time. If you have a business, it doesn't matter if it's professional services, retail, whatever it is, digital marketing is essential. And here we are with our digital effort tonight, and challenged for some reason with Zoom. I'm not sure why, maybe because it's a full moon or close to full. But as much as digital marketing is necessary, conventional marketing is also essential. They're both now more than ever aspects of holiday marketing. This is a great opportunity. The fourth quarter is always the busiest quarter in my practice because it's when everybody's connecting with their customers, their prospective clients, people with whom they work, sources of referral, and so on. And the holiday time, aside from like being a time of sales and selling, is also a time of connection. So as we think about our marketing opportunities, we really have to kind of think about in what ways might we connect with our customer base, whatever that may be. I'm curious to know, did anybody type in?
Yes, we've got 3 that wrote in so far. Restoration services, cottage food bakery, and retail.
Oh, great. Okay, so restoration services probably gets pretty busy when people go, uh-oh, family's coming for the holidays, and we have to fix this or improve that, or this is an opportunity to make things even nicer. And probably also during the pandemic, everybody's been nesting. Retail, no question, is going to be busy. I think people are feeling like they want to spend money and feel good again. And bakeries probably are always in good business. I think people always want something special that's handmade. So if other people type in, let us know, and we'll try to kind of address some of this as we go. Digital tool trends. So in the last 2 years, we've really seen some things rise up as being incredibly important. But with respect to the holidays, I'll try to aim these ideas because they're just good practices and tools for any business. SEO is search engine optimization. What this means is most people are doing their due diligence, their research, their investigation online. So people will do what they call near me searches. They may not even type near me. They'll just say bakery, Arlington Heights. And if your bakery website is well optimized, you'll show up in the first, second, or third position in the search results. This is really important. If you are looking to gain customers from further beyond your traditional sources of referral or people who just know you from the neighborhood, you're going to need good search engine optimization in your website. And this is essential for holiday marketing. People will be looking online to determine where's the closest electronics retailer near me, or in the home renovation space, you know, who can help me renovate a bathroom between now and Thanksgiving, or add a new floor to my Florida room, or things of that nature, or paint rooms that need to be repainted. So if you have keywords, meta tags, if you have a lot of the essential information woven into the front and back of your website is going to perform better and help you during this time, especially with the holidays coming. Obviously, Google AdWords is important. It varies per channel how important it is, but it's money well spent in many, many markets. So that's something to think about, like paid search. How do you turn up in search results? Across the board, not just Google. I think you have to look at LinkedIn and Facebook and other entities where you can pay to turn up high in search. Even on Yelp, also very important. Video. So here we are tonight, and we are able to see each other even if we can't be together. And video is important because just like some people prefer to read, some people prefer to listen, some people prefer to watch. These are different senses that people lead with. And so I am encouraging my clients, and I think it would be fantastic, and it's easy to do for holidays, to provide some videos. So for example, the bakery might provide a video where you teach people how to make a specific holiday cookie or some special treat that people might benefit from, and then promote that to your audience. For the home renovation space, it might be showing how a project gets completed. And videos can be very short, I would say under 2 minutes. And you can put them together fairly easily as long as you have a bit of a plan so that they are really watchable, represent your service, your business, your retail space well. Podcast, maybe, I don't know for the holidays, but I certainly think, I was having this conversation today with a client. Podcasting is great for people who have kind of extended information they want to share, and to do it in sort of an interview or talking format can be really valuable, and people learn from that. And you might want to test it during the holidays. There are podcasts and podcasting studios that you can rig up fairly easily for this purpose. Obviously, I mean, the 10,000-pound gorilla is the social media channels. There are so many. Yelp, Angie's List, Avo for attorneys, even just Google, the straightforward Google panel, which we will talk about in a few minutes, are really important to drive business for you. When consumers are searching, and not just searching, but just present. If I like the bakery on Facebook, I want to see updates of what the bakery is making. I actually do like a bakery in Cicero that's kind of a famous old world bakery. And they have a really nice Facebook stream. They show what they've made each day. They offer specials. They invite people to come in before a certain time to pick up something that they're known for. They do a great job of kind of creating a feeling of desire from the outside in, and that's really valuable. So during the holiday time, you can totally harness that for your business. Even businesses that people don't customarily think of as being like holiday-ish, like home renovation, you may show a transformation of a room that was painted one way that's now painted another way that's very appealing. Show a project that you've just undertaken, and that may be very inspiring to people, and tell people we can do this before the holidays if you call now. YouTube is tied to this. When you make a short video, you can create a YouTube channel and people will watch, especially if you promote it. And you can create video right now that focuses on the aspects of the holidays that are coming that you want to celebrate. So, I mean, it isn't just Christmas. We have Hanukkah, we have the New Year, we have Kwanzaa, we have Martin Luther King Day. We have a lot of holidays coming in a very short period of time. Thanksgiving, you know, even Halloween. These are all great touch points for a business. And with the exception of a few kinds of businesses, you can almost always find a way to weave a holiday message, even one of just simple gratitude for customers, and share those on YouTube, on the social channels, through a podcast, or through any video that you create. And I would also encourage businesses to consider hashtags. So company hashtags would be, for example, AHML, Arlington Heights Memorial Library. They could, whatever they post, they could have, you know, hashtag AHML at the end of every piece of content that they publish on their channels. They could also have Arlington Heights Reads or Arlington Heights Books, or things that people might be searching for, because the hashtag is used as an indexing tool for people who are searching for information. And if we use a hashtag of digital marketing trends and attach it to this presentation, people have a better chance of finding it than if we don't, because the hashtag tells the search engine this bit of content is about whatever follows the hashtag. So the bakery may want to have hashtag chocolate chip cookies near me, or, you know, Arlington Heights Bakery, or something like that. Or the retail store, if you have beautiful new merchandise that people may like, take pictures of it and add a hashtag for the brand. If it's a hot brand like Hydro Flask bottles, which I know like teenagers like those a lot, then you have hashtag Hydro Flask, hashtag Arlington Heights Hydro Flask, because that's what people may be searching for, and that will help get the information to them. And please stop me if you have a question. Are there any comments or additional thoughts?
Not right now, but there's nothing in the chat, but I do want to urge everybody to make sure that any questions that come up, please put them in there and we'll make sure they're addressed.
Absolutely. If you have a specific question for your particular business, feel free to type it into the chat and we'll try to address it. So let's continue. Facebook for Business is a fabulous place to celebrate holidays. What you need to do is think about this Facebook for Business page that you create for your business as being a digital storefront. And in the same way that if you have a storefront, a brick and mortar, beautiful retail store, you'll hang garlands in the window and lights and maybe dress the windows a certain way so that people walking by stop and have a look and dream a little. Your Facebook page can be similar. You can change your cover image, your profile image. You can publish other images and video and promote any product or service with really complete content that can be inspiring to people who follow you. And it's just a great way to connect with people because it's a nice mix of image and word. Boosted posts, also known as advertising, are very low cost and very effective. And if you're not sure, I always encourage people to test. $1 per 24 hours gets you started in the boosting arena. And what it does is it tells the platform, I'm paying for advertising, therefore this content is more important than advertising that is not paid for. And it'll go so much further. You can aim it at specific audiences. It's very easy to do. I would also encourage businesses to promote specific products, events, or the presence of your business. Get specific. If there's a hot toy and your store is selling it, promote that with beautiful imagery, or show children enjoying the toy, or give product features and benefits or service benefits. Just make sure that on your Facebook page, all your information is correct, and publish regularly. Maybe 1 to 3 times a week, whatever you can manage is ideal. And test, because we don't always know what pieces of information are going to be more popular than others. And create a flow of authentic information. It really should sound like your business. If your business is playful, the content should be playful. If your business is serious and educational, that's okay. You want to sound that way, but you can always thread in a holiday message to any of it. I also encourage people to tag or link, which means if I want to post something about the Arlington Heights Memorial Library, I should make sure I include a live link to the library from my content to make sure that some people from the library audience see that I'm making that connection. And it helps bring new eyes to your content. We talked for a little bit about video. You don't need to have full-blown video production, although that's very nice. I recognize a lot of people don't have the budget for that. But if you kind of plan for what you're going to do and make sure that it looks good, make sure the background looks good, the sound is good, that it's kind of very watchable, then you've got a winner. I would try to keep them brief, maybe under 2 minutes, because as much as people like to look at things, unless it's a really kind of involved how-to video or documentary, I recommend keeping them short. Make a bunch of them. Show people how to make a specific holiday cookie. Show people how to take a beautiful array of cookies and wrap them to present to people's homes. Show people the gifts that people are really wanting right now, and invite people to come shop at your store. Or again, the projects that you've completed that you're proud of, show people what that looks like so they can dream a little with you. And publish, and test. So don't be afraid to publish a lot of different types of content and test and see what really works, what really resonates with your audience. Any questions? Or I don't see anything in the chat that looks like it's new, but I'm just checking.
Yeah, no, there's nothing new that's in there. We're good for now.
Okay, great. We'll keep going. LinkedIn company page is very similar to your Facebook page and a really good place to celebrate the holidays because LinkedIn is a busy place and people are pretty business minded there. That's an okay place to promote your product or service or the benefits of your business. And you should not be afraid to test that out. You have a ready audience there. People on LinkedIn, in contrast to Facebook, are looking for professional information that's accurate, that's actionable, that's informational to them. So make sure you include information about your business. Include your logo, include your URL, essential information. Make sure if you have employees that they also link to the page to show their connection because that helps the platform know who's involved and it helps spread the word what you're promoting. And always publish well-voiced, authentic content. Always tag credible sources. You will find success with this. You will build evangelism among your followers and include holiday messages. You have an opportunity to talk about gratitude with Thanksgiving coming. We have an opportunity to talk about Halloween and have a good time. And I used to do some work for a dental practice, and we used to have some fun with Halloween and talk about that you don't just have to eat candy. There's a lot of other things you can do for Halloween that are fun and festive that people find okay. And that was always really popular online. Always publish content that's shareable, lists, the 1, 2, 3 list, like 5 ways to enjoy the holidays while baking, or the top 5 cakes in our bakery are, and show the pictures of them. And people will find that very interesting. And especially if you put kind of a holiday spin on it, I think people will be very receptive to it. You can also publish offers or holiday content as it might relate to your business. If you have a special or an opportunity to save 10% if you shop tomorrow, because tomorrow is the slowest day of the week for your business, you may pull in some additional customers. And people are always appreciative of that when they feel like they were looked after as customers or got a special price or deal because they're participating in your social media channel. Google panel profile. When you search for something, you'll see this profile. I have a screenshot of one here that I just wanted to show. The Google profile is like your directory listing for your business. I can't tell you how many businesses I encounter that don't have a built profile. They just haven't made one, or that it isn't completed, where there are some opportunities that they should take. So as a business owner, whether you are a home renovation specialist, a baker, a retailer, a florist, it doesn't matter. Make sure your profile is complete. Google allows you a lot of specific pieces of information. If you have a brick and mortar store, make sure your address is correct. Make sure your telephone is correct, your opening hours. If you are a service provider, you don't have to put those things in. You can populate the pieces of information that make sense for your business, and I recommend that you do. There's also an opportunity to add images, your company logo, products and services. So for example, if you are a florist, you could show dozen bouquets of roses or orchids or special plants that are great in offices or low light situations as we have here in Chicago in the winter. And then you invite your customers to write reviews. Reviews are important because people who are doing due diligence online search to see what do other people think. We call it citizen journalism. And during the holidays, probably more than ever, people will be searching. They'll be looking for the bakery near me, the shoe store near me, and then they'll read about it. They'll look for the hotel near me, whatever it is. You want to make sure you invite reviews and where you can respond to them if you are able to. That would be really good because it shows kind of the interaction between the business and the writer, and that's important. The other thing that reviews do, which is interesting and you can't see it, is reviews drive your position in search results to some extent. The Google algorithm changes all the time, but what holiday marketers need to know is the pizzeria with 5 reviews will show up lower often than the pizzeria with 20 reviews or 100 reviews. So the more reviews you have, the better. It drives the way the platform understands the business. And you want to make sure you also publish any updates, any sales that you're offering that are special, or any news that you have if you're in the news. These are all things that you can include on the Google profile, and they're really good for business. And the Google profile is free. So it's a very self-service space that you control. And I recommend that you try to complete it the best you can because it's good for business. Reviews and ratings. More than anything, a happy customer will influence others. It happens all the time. I hear this every day from clients. If I ask them, how do you get your business? A lot of people say, by referral, word of mouth. People just know in the neighborhood. So you want to kind of develop that as much as you can, no matter what your business is, whether you're a retail, service provider, an organization, it doesn't matter. For the holidays, you want to ask people to please, can you say something nice and talk about what we did for your holidays? Did we provide you with a cake for your Thanksgiving table? Or a pie? These are all things that people can celebrate, and then other people say, well, I want one of those too. So it's really very important. It is true that since the pandemic started, more and more people are looking online to determine what's the right thing for them. So we want to make sure, with respect to reviews and ratings, that we try to earn high marks, and sometimes we don't. And when we don't, if we have a lot of high marks, it's not such a big deal compared to if we have no reviews and then we earn a low mark, we have a problem. And so you want to kind of get out ahead of any kind of conflict, especially for people who are in businesses that touch a lot of customers, like a pizzeria, a bakery, a shoe store. When you have a lot of customers, there's always a chance that somebody maybe wasn't satisfied or happy or had a kind of awkward experience, and they might write about it. But if everybody else has written what a good experience they've had, you'll be okay. And you want to have, actually, I think consumers like a mix of reviews. I see on Amazon quite a mix of reviews about every product. Some are kind of funny and awful, and some are wonderful. And then you decide for yourself which reviews probably resonate best for you when you're doing your shopping. But if you have really good ones, you're going to gain more customers, especially during the holidays. I would say also, if you can, go for more. So you may want to engage a review service. There are many you could choose from. And the review platform service allows you to kind of mechanize or systematize the requesting of reviews, because it's really difficult to do if you're the business owner to just ask people to write reviews. You can do it, but it's a lot of work. And if you don't get the results that you need, you probably need to send multiple follow-up requests of people and ask them to please make these reviews. And you don't want to badger people. So systematizing it is really important and good for business. Conventional marketing. So we were talking just now about a lot of digital tactics, but I want to take a moment and acknowledge all what I call conventional marketing tactics, which are really good for the holidays. Advertising. Right now is the time to think about if you're going to place ads for your business. Print advertising is not dead. Radio advertising is not dead. I've had some clients say to me, who's looking at the newspaper? Well, it depends on which one. So, for example, the Chicago Tribune is having a lot of problems. I can't say I'd recommend that you advertise in the Tribune. It's not much of a newspaper right now, the way it's been cut down. But the Daily Herald is a wonderful newspaper, and a lot of people are reading it, and they have the Business Ledger is a monthly publication that's excellent and offers a lot of very focused business information, and it may be a good place for your business to advertise. They also have a product of local newspapers in certain towns that are very focused on the town, like Northbrook and Glenview and others, and people read them. People read local magazines that are town-specific. People are extremely interested in what we call hyper-local news. So I would not shy away from advertising, and it is not too late to put together advertising for the holidays. You probably need between 2 and 4 weeks to operationalize ads, but it's not impossible if you think it's something that you're interested in. And I do encourage business owners to consider that, because depending on what publications you pick, you may create really nice connections for your customers to understand how you fit into the community scheme. You could also consider houses of worship, churches, synagogues, temples. They often have a newsletter or a bulletin, and advertising is inexpensive in those, and you reach a very targeted community, which can be very good for business. Print marketing collateral. Anything that you give people should feel like a gift, and during the holidays, even more so. So during the holidays, if you give people a brochure or an annual report or a summary report or a menu, it should feel like a gift. Use good paper. Make sure it's printed nicely, that it's colorful and well designed. Even business cards should feel like a gift. So the holidays are a perfect time to kind of think about what you're giving to customers or clients, and what is that like? Some of my clients have written books, or they've written shorter documents, maybe more like a white paper or a positioning piece. If you print those beautifully, it does become a gift that you can give during the holidays that people would say, thank you very much. I really like what you sent me. Direct mail. I always ask people, when was the last time you received an interesting piece of mail? And some people say, well, yesterday or a week ago, or I got a letter from my school and it was really attractive. Direct mail can be very inexpensive and a great way to reach people. If you own a bakery, you may want to mail to people within 1 mile of the bakery, because there is a wonderful aspect of impulsivity that people have with respect to bakeries or retail stores or pretty much anything else. The Postal Service has some very affordable campaigns that you can use. And if I'm not mistaken, Arlington Heights and other associated libraries offer the ability to create mailing lists, if I'm not mistaken. And Diane probably has tremendous resources to help you with any kind of mail campaign. Is it true?
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody wants to reach out to me to talk more about that, please do.
If I'm not mistaken, some libraries have the National Change of Address database. People move a lot, but a free mailing list is worth a lot. So if you don't mind getting a free mailing list that's targeted to a specific zip code or zip codes, then you can work on your postcard, your letter, or whatever you're sending, and try to attract business from very specific neighborhoods. Executive letters are very interesting. You may own a home renovation business, but what would happen if you wrote a really good one-page letter and mailed it to either current customers, prospective customers, or people in a specific neighborhood with a beautiful stamp on it? It could be very surprising, and enough people will put it aside and call you when they're ready that it's probably worth doing. Media coverage. One of the things that you can do when you're an expert is pitch yourself or a story to local journalists. They are always looking for good local stories, and you can pitch yourself. You can promote a story or a trend or something that you're observing that you think is important for them to know about. And earned media coverage is dynamite, and it's essentially free, except for your time on task, or if you use a wire service to issue a press release. And I can recommend that. That's even better than advertising. Join good groups. This is the time of year to join a chamber of commerce, focused networking. They're not much money, and they usually have a lot of programming around the holidays. So you can totally market your business during this holiday season through good groups that are set up to help you do business. Can't recommend it enough.
And can I jump in, Rebecca?
Oh, sure.
I just want to say that the Chamber of Commerce thing that you mentioned, a good point that I'd like everybody to know is that even if you're not a member, you can often join, or you can often attend an event here and there and just pay for the one-time event. And it's like $15 or something, and you can meet all these, people that you can be marketing to. So keep that in mind.
That's a really good tip. And one that I think people should consider. A good marketing event, a good networking event, you can't beat it. And as far as holiday marketing and promotions, you just can't beat it. And it's very easy to go, maybe I'll join them next year. But if you are a member now, you will get benefit from it, especially during the holidays. And then I absolutely encourage people, use your library's resources. Arlington Heights has a magnificent library. You have access to cameras, studios, databases, workshops like this. And I believe you have the whole new makerspace too, right?
Yeah, we have the name of it is Makerplace, and it is a new makerspace that's 8,000 square feet. It's its own building. It's right over by Rec Park. and everyone is welcome to just walk in and check it out. There's so many different things that can be used to make a prototype, or use a 3D printer to try this. There's stuff for making quilts. There's every creative thing you can think of goes on there.
And that's good for business too. So I think, you can, I know there's one near my house, and you can use the embroidery machine, and you can embroider your own fleece vest and walk around with your logo right where you need it to be. And you didn't spend almost any money on it, and nobody else in the universe has it. So it's a real treat to have. Let me just ask, are there questions right now? Looks like maybe something in the chat, or is that?
No, I had put a couple things in about putting questions in and such.
Okay.
Someone said the maker place
Great.
is beautiful, so thank you. But no other
Yeah,
questions right now.
This is really, like a treat, the holiday season, you should think about what tactics you'll try. You have to kind of think about, obviously, as a smaller business owner, you can't do everything. We don't have a budget for everything. So what will you try for the holiday season? What marketing tools and trends interest you the most? What do you want to take a chance on and see what works? I'd be interested to hear from our audience, if they feel like typing into the chat, what do you think you'd try, or what's appealing to you, or what would you like to take a chance on? We can't do it all. We really only have a couple of months before year end and beginning January, but we can do a lot. And what is something you can do now to increase your visibility and awareness of your business or your service, and making it easier for people to find you? Feel free to type in the chat if you want. I think at this point, we've covered a lot. I would like to, just say thank you, and I'm apologizing for whatever was going on with our technology at the beginning, but I hope you enjoy your holidays. I hope they're very successful. And even after this session, if people have a question or just want to talk about a specific idea, you can always email me or follow my business on Facebook if you'd like, to stay connected. But I think there's never been a better time to be a small business owner, but I also realize it's not easy. It's a lot of work.
We do have a question in here. I'm interested to see trends on text message marketing.
Well, that's very interesting. So I think that may be, I have a couple thoughts. One is, if you have people's numbers so you can text them, then you should do that. But you should always give people a way to opt out if they don't want to receive texts. So you can usually do like one message with an opt out if people don't want it, and then just be sure to remove the ones who don't wish to receive it. I also think it's a little bit generational. I think that up to a certain age, texting is extremely comfortable for people, particularly younger people. Older people may struggle with it more, but I think it's worth testing, especially because there's like an immediacy to it. And I think there's times when it's worth pursuing. I think it's a good thing.
And this is one of our attendees mentioned that they have a cottage food bakery. But so people who are doing this at home, they don't have a storefront, and I'm getting more and more of these types of, it's just becoming more and more common, I think. So could you talk about some of the specifics for that?
Yeah, because I've worked with some people who are in the cottage food industry, and what they tend to do is develop kind of a personality for what they're making, whether it's artisanal honey or baking or sauces or other things, and then they promote that to what I would call like affinity groups online. But they also go after kind of local holiday fairs like you see at various churches and synagogues. They also go to, well, by the time it's winter, they'll be indoors, the food markets that happen through the year. There's some really nice ones. And so people who are baking at a smaller scale will tend to develop some relationships and strategic partnerships so that what they're making is represented at certain places, and then they can promote, like, stop by the XYZ food fair and find our booth, and we'll be there. Or they'll take pictures of the table or the booth they set up and kind of announce to their social media audience, we're here today until 2 o'clock, stop by. So yeah, in the absence of an actual storefront, then you lean on your digital storefront to create very appealing promotions, which I think during the holidays will really resonate with people, with your audience. Other questions?
I don't know if you're able to see in the chat, it's just saying, thank you. Very interesting, as I'm contemplating entering small business based on baking goods homemade. One idea I have, I think this is someone else then. One idea I have is offering bakery packages to accompany a meal that includes yeast rolls or cornbread and either a classic pie and or cake.
Well, that sounds good. Now I'm hungry. I think that sounds great. I think when you present, much like a food magazine, when you present beautiful images of the food that you're offering or the package that you're offering, people will be interested. You know, I saw something like this at late spring. There are some of these organic farms sell farm shares, and they'll say you can have a half share, a whole share, a quarter share, and when they deliver the food, they deliver it with recipes. And in this case, you know, you could present the finished product with serving suggestions. This would be great with like a book club night, or this would be wonderful when you're too tired to cook. Or if you, like I know of a food service that focuses on food for people who are on very restricted diets, low sodium, low fat, for medical reasons. And they make beautiful food so that when people receive it, they know it's really good. So I think that's a great idea. And I think if you have a sense that people are interested in this product, then you have to test it and put it out there and say, you know, this Friday, I'm going to be putting together this particular dinner package or bakery package. You know, place your orders by Wednesday and just see what happens. I mean, you have to just to kind of start where it makes sense. I think it's a great idea. And I think people are very interested in these things.
I agree. Is it okay to put the same post on multiple social media?
I think it's important to vary it a bit. The search engines are frustrating in that they're sensitive enough to notice when everything's the same. You might have the same announcement, but you may make it different ways. So you may be announcing this bakery package on LinkedIn for busy professionals that are working a lot. And then you may go onto your Facebook for Business page and talk about how this is great for families, but it's essentially the same post, but you kind of position it a little differently, clad it a little differently, aim it at your audience a little differently. If you're on Instagram, you're gonna have a lot more images than text, and you're probably gonna have a lot of hashtags. So I would say, and I think this question's asked a lot, if you can avoid posting the same thing everywhere, you'll benefit. But you can have the same content. I would just organize it a little bit differently per platform. But good point. If you're finding it's difficult to communicate across many platforms, choose one and do it really well, and then add a second and do that really well, and then add a third. Don't try to like start your business or go into the holidays with 7 social media platforms and it's just overwhelming. It's like trying to learn 7 languages all at once. Like, would you study Spanish and Italian and French all at the same time? No, you really wouldn't. Get one down and then move to the next with confidence. So that's kind of an important thing for the small business owner heading into the holidays.
They kind of are each like their own language, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And they're totally different. They have totally different personalities. So one is good for one business, one is good for another business. I would say a business Facebook page is like your classic digital storefront. Instagram is more visual. Twitter is hard to read, so people use it more through search, looking like if I'm looking for people who are baking, I might search for baking on Twitter, but I'm not going to read it. So, you know, everyone behaves differently. LinkedIn, everyone's hard at work and looking for more professional success. And with that, maybe you need someone to make you dinner because you're working longer, you know. So you have to think about how to angle your messages to meet the audience.
And that was the last thing I had in the chat. But if anybody else wants to put something else in there before we head out, we still have a couple minutes and we can do that. I'm going to go ahead and just mention the next program coming up. And while I'm doing that, if anybody wants to put something else in the chat, we'll go back to the question for Rebecca. Okay. I just want to mention that this month on October 28th, I have a business book discussion. The book is Digital Body Language: How to Build Trust and Connection No Matter the Distance by Erica Dewan. And it's pretty interesting because, especially after the start Rebecca and I had, you know, doing all these things through tech. I mean, it's kind of another world, and it's really kind of a fabulous book about how to continue to connect with your team and people when you have to do things across a distance. So anyone who wants to join me for that, we've got tons of those books here. Grab one and join us for the discussion. And no other questions came in. So is there anything else, Rebecca?
I think we've covered a lot, and I would just encourage our audience to give thought to your specific practice or business or what you're developing. And then I think your instinct, your gut instinct, is going to tell you what to do next as far as holiday marketing goes. And trust your instincts, because you're the expert. I really believe that. And if you need help, you can always reach back to Diane, to me. We'd love to help.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. And
thank you.
Somebody said thanks to the host and presenter for the information, but thank you to all of you who came. So everybody have a wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.